Hariom, and greetings from Niagara Falls. I just came back from Rochester seconds ago, not minutes, not hours, but seconds ago. I was in Rochester this past weekend because they have one of the best children's museum in North America. And while we were there was a big exhibit on Lego. How many of you own some sort of Lego right now in your home, in your living space? I think almost everyone, even if you don't have your hand up, it's somewhere in your home, you just don't know it. It's in your pocket, it's in your closet. So I was reading an article recently about how the creator of Lego regrets creating Lego. And I share this as someone who played with a lot of Lego when I was growing up. Our kids have a lot of Lego. Our kids get a lot of Lego from all of you. So I'm not sharing this in a strictly judgmental way, but the person who created this regrets this because Lego is a hardcore plastic. A plastic that can't be recycled, a plastic that can't be decomposed. It just keeps shedding layers and layers and layers of its original product, which really is microplastics. Now, I share this because all of us grew up with Lego, have Lego, will continue to gift Lego. Trying to be an environmentalist in 2024, we're a week away from 2024, is difficult. My mind goes to, in our culture, the period we're living in is described as Kali Yuga, the period of selfishness, where it's so easy to be selfish. And that's why the way to not be selfish is also easy. That is japa, or meaningful repetition. The culture we live in, to be an environmentalist, is difficult. And that's why we have our Prthvi Sevasanga. This month, we complete 2 years of our Prthvi Sevasanga, where we're coming to learn how vigilant we have to be about the way we shop, about the way we drive, about the way we eat, in all matters. Now, some may interpret this as a burden. I have to be careful about all of these matters. But for any seeker, this is not a burden. This is a gift to us to be more careful, because the more careful we are, the more we evolve. And what is us evolving? We become more happy. That's what everybody wants. That's what everyone needs. And I'm going to share this in one more way before our team continues to facilitate the completion of 2 years, specifically this year. When matters are difficult, you have a choice to escape or to embrace. Through our Prthvi Sevasanga, we embrace this difficulty in the form of surrendering. Surrendering is leave the rest. But that's only possible if you do your best. And that's what this community has really brought out to us. How can we do our best in all ways so that we do leave the rest, so we do surrender? And there's great benefit to us and to all by doing so. My steady, sincere, strong appreciation to all of you for being not interested, but being inspired towards Prithvi Sevasanga for 2 years. And I know this will go on and on and on and on. If you look around right now, the diversity of those who are joining us, some are joining from an airport. Yes. Some are joining from India right now, from all over. So the diversity is great, as is our Prithvi Sevasanga team. As I look around, just flowing through Zoom, I see Kanchan and Zui and Praveen and Rita and so many others who are directing this team. This is one of the best facets of our community. And next year, in 2024, we're going to grow this much more in quality and quantity. Perhaps some of those details will be shared with you this evening. Again, my appreciation to all of our seekers, to our team. Being an environmentalist is difficult, but through our community, we're becoming more careful. The more careful we become, the less difficult being an environmentalist and even living becomes. Team, please continue.
Hari Om, everyone. Hari Om Vivekji. So we were thinking, let's play games today. So we will share a board with you, and we have some amazing Prithvi Prashnas, and 4 teams have agreed to be the players. And as we are sort of spotlighting them, here are the instructions for the game, okay? Listen carefully. We have the Earth Children team, we have Deepa team, we have Vivekji's team, and we have Ananya's team. 4 teams. And each team gets 10 seconds to think about the question before you answer. So I'll have a timer. We'll have a 10-second timer. And if the team doesn't answer it correctly, another team could raise their hand electronically and could answer the question. And each team gets, listen this part a little bit more carefully, each team gets 2 chances to pass on the question to another team member. Sorry, another team. And you would get half points. Each team would get half points. And you also get 2 total chances in the whole game time to ask help from the audience to write the answer in the chat. Yeah. Do you have any questions on the instructions before we begin? Same things that I said are in chat. Okay. And Rita, if you're able to share the screen.
I actually have one request.
Okay.
If there's anybody that would like to volunteer to play on behalf of Vivekji so he can earn some extra points, please raise your hand. And
I'm voluntolding Sapna to be playing on my team.
Okay.
Okay, so Sapna can change her name to Team Vivekji. I'll play on and off.
Okay.
I just need to settle for a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Vivekji.
Okay, so if you see the board, there are 4 columns. One on products related to Prithvi or things related to products related to, and then people, then places, and philosophy. And you could pick when your turn is up. We were going to go in reverse order. Vivekji's team, then Earth Children, then Deepa's and Ananya. And you share which column, which number you like to answer. And once I read the question, we'll start the timer. So Vivekji's team, which question would you like to take on?
Hari Om. We'll start with products for 400.
Products for 400. Okay. How much plastic does the average person consume in a week with their food and other products? Couple seconds left. 7 seconds to think through.
5 pounds.
Okay, 5 pounds. Any other team would like to take on the question? Go ahead, our children.
10 pounds.
Okay, that's a good guess. Would audience would like to write an answer in chat? Not seeing anything in chat yet. Okay. So we typically have heard in our Prthvi Sevasanga workshop from Seema that we typically are eating nowadays a credit card size of plastic. So it doesn't seem like it's as big as pounds. Okay. So next team, Earth Children team, what question would you like to take on?
Can we do philosophy for 200?
Are you sure? Okay. Philosophy for 200. How do you talk through differences of opinion on buying things and seeking earth unfriendly experiences with your family? Someone wants more, someone wants less. How do you deal with it? Your timer starts now. Go ahead. Are you answering?
Yeah. So we think that to kind of talk to differences of opinions, you have to make some compromises and also just kind of understand where they are on the subject and and strengths and weaknesses of what they want to do and what you want to do.
Oh, so you're saying have a conversation. What does the audience think? Should we give them the points? Maybe. Okay, I'm seeing some head nods. Okay. Would you like to add any other ideas, anyone from the audience? How do you negotiate these differences about buying of things? Take a moment to give us insights if you can. Let's move on to the next question then. So Deepa's team, what question would you like to take on?
People 400?
Yeah.
Please.
What's a meaningful gift and how do you avoid getting gifts that are not meaningful and earth friendly? Start your timer.
Okay, a meaningful gift would be, I would say something like a course, like Udemy course that was just given, or. And how do I avoid getting meaningful gifts? Is just try learning to say no.
Would you like to add something more? Cool. That seems an awesome answer. If anyone had any other thoughts, please go ahead and add too. These are some of the subjective questions. So got some points. So next question, Ananya.
All right, I'm gonna go for philosophy 500.
Okay. What does Bhagavad Gita share on living on environmentally conscious lifestyle? Yes, 10 seconds.
Okay, so one part would be in chapter 6, where we talk about your seat, like you have to have the cloth of an animal skin. And at first impression, we may think that this is like something, this is not environmentally friendly, but it's actually like an animal that is passed on in a natural way. And so we're not harming any animals. And also, I guess ahimsa in general that's shared in the Bhagavad Gita. I think chapter 13, it's one of the virtues that are shared. And yeah, and so that's like another way like to be mindful of how we are interacting with the environment and with other creatures.
Woohoo, meaningful mornings. Awesome. Thank you, Ananya. Let's move on to the next team. If others want to add in, please go ahead. It's awesome to read your chats too. So Vivekji's team, which question would you like to take on?
We'll go with people for 200.
We learn about simple living, high thinking. What term is used for simple living in environmental space?
Hmm. Can I phone a friend or pass to the Earth Children?
Is the term minimalism?
Awesome. Yes, so totally. Thank
Wait, do
you.
we get the points or do they get the points?
They get half points, you get half points. Okay, what question do you want to take on?
Places 400.
Big numbers, okay. What is the percentage increase in trash during the holiday season in the US? You have a couple seconds left. I think you can mute yourself, right? Or children? Unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is it 50%?
Not fully. Okay. Deepa's team, you want to take it on?
70%?
Ooh, you went higher. I hope not. I hope not 50%. I hope not 70%. Okay. So the answer is about 25%. That's what we get to hear quite a lot during holiday season. But it's still very big numbers, a lot of wrapping and a lot of toys that cannot be recycled. And that's a pretty cool gift giving pledge that we had last year. About 500 people have already signed up that gift giving pledge. If you haven't looked at it, definitely take a look at it. It has 7-8 very meaningful options of being able to give gift. So we don't have to increase that much trash during holiday season, whichever holiday it is. So, and then, oh no, you did. Oh, now Deepa's turn. Your turn to pick your question.
Products 500, please. Thank you.
Ooh. What does B Corporation certification mean?
Business?
I have no clue.
That's a good start.
Hmm.
It's a corporation, so it is a business. Okay, any other team would like to take on the question? Go ahead. Our children team? Go ahead, you were raising a hand.
Is it that you're governmentally certified to be sustainable?
You were pretty close, very good. So these are sets of companies that are not only focused on profit, but they're also focused on purpose. And Praveen Uncle, he just put in the awesome definition on how they're certified and verified in terms of legal accountability and public transparency related to sustainability. So if you're buying things, right? Is that what it is, Rita? If you're buying things and if you know the company, try to get stuff from B Corporation companies than other ones. So it's a very good aspect to know for any things that we buy. So
Yeah, there's actually their website. If you look at Certified B Corporation, I don't know the exact name of the website. They have a list of companies in different areas of commerce and merchandise and travel that certify companies, and it's a pretty rigorous certification.
isn't it cool that the companies do think that way and there is some system for us to sort of look through? It's pretty awesome. So next team, that is Deepa's team. No, not Deepa's team, Ananya's team. Go ahead.
I'll go with people 500.
What are two ideas behind Gandhiji's Sarvodaya movement?
Oh boy. Um, So I think I'm gonna have to. Oh, I think I just got a friend just phoned me. So can I can I say what they told me?
Sure. So you used one of your two chances, a friend. Thank
Okay,
you for
so
the honesty. Awesome. Go ahead.
so Ahimsa and Satya.
Pretty close, and I think Praveen uncle he would put a chat into all the aspects. But the idea is there's all these small villages that are very self-sustainable instead of buying global products. So these are the values, and ahimsa is one of them. So thank you for sharing the awesome answer. Next team. Oh, that's Vivekji's team.
We'll try places for 100.
The majority of Great Pacific Garbage Patch is made up of this material.
Plastic.
Uh-huh. Yes, and it's pretty, if you get to see the images of it, it's pretty disheartening in very many ways. And save the chat, look at this quick short video later on. It tells you the history of plastic, where it starts and where it ends up. It's a good one to see later on. So Earth Children team, your turn.
Okay, I think Zooey, I think we're ready to do something a little bit different. And I think the rest of us would like to answer some questions. How about that?
That sounds awesome. Yes,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Hmm?
And quickly what we're going to do is ask everyone, there'll be a survey or a Google form that'll be shared in the chat. And what we're looking for is for you all to help us shape what Prithvi Sevasanga 2024 is going to look like. So just really short, it's going to be just a couple of questions. Okay, so hope everyone got a chance to do that. If there's any other ideas in terms of the first question, it was about topics that weren't listed. We did have an other option, but throughout the evening, if you have any other ideas that come to mind, please do share that. So I think we will go back to and try to finish our game, and then we'll get to hear from some other seekers as well. So
Philosophy for 400.
Okay, you're taking the big ones. Okay. Oh, that's a dilemma probably all of us face every day. I really want to buy the bag of chips, but I'm aware that this bag of chips or almost all the bags of chips are not recyclable or compostable. In this situation, how do I practice sacrifice or tapa or what's good for Mother Earth? You have 10 seconds to think about it. Go ahead.
Okay, so our answer is that to practice tapa and sacrifice in that situation, just like instead of buying the bag of chips, go find something else that might be equally as good but more compostable. But if you really can't go without chips, then maybe you could go home and try making it yourself, because that's because buying some potentially potatoes for potato chips is more sustainable than buying a bag of potatoes, because a bag of chips, because you can like compost potatoes and stuff.
Really awesome. Thank you. So next time when we feel like that, I should remember Nandan's answer. Thank you so much. So next would be then Deepa's turn.
Places 500.
Share 3 countries with high green future indexed. Countries that are most prepared for low carbon future.
Sweden, Norway, Denmark.
We got some of them.
Germany.
Finland.
That's Germany. Okay.
Yeah, like all Scandinavian countries, right? Sort of.
Yeah.
Or some European countries. What
I-
I'm remembering is Denmark, definitely. And then, any other team wants to take the question? You want to ask the audience? If anyone knows? Okay, so it's Denmark, it's Netherlands. I think that was answered too. And Iceland. That was surprising to me. I think Iceland. But those are the one. I think MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, came up with this index. And it seems pretty good one to know. It might be cool to see where our own country lies later on. So let's move on to the next team, Ananya.
Okay, I'll go with philosophy 300.
What insights do Shastras offer regarding our spending on society or humanity and personal life?
So I think it's supposed to be like 20% pleasure, 20% possession, 20% position, and then the other, I think like the other 40% should go to like community, or yeah, I guess like community, society, and humanity.
You're sort of close, what I
Okay.
remember hearing. There, anybody would like to add something to what Ananya said? Any other team or audience?
Maybe I
Okay,
can
Puna,
phone a friend from the audience.
you want to do that? Go ahead.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna phone Rachanaji.
I think what Vivekji has shared is that we should be giving at least 20% of what we have to society, that we can spend 60% on ourselves and our family, and maybe 20% that we would save and 20% to humanity, society, humanity. But you're a lot more generous, and yes, 40% to humanity is awesome. So.
Yes, that would be so cool. And I think this came in some of our Bhagavata classes, right, too? Coming from Bhagavatam. Thank you for sharing, Rachana and Ananya. So moving on to the next team. Oh, Vivekji's team. Sapna, your turn.
We'll do products for 200.
Oh, what does green electricity mean?
So green electricity refers to when electrical power is coming from a more sustainable source. So it's something that's accessible to many of us. We had a session which really educated me, at least, on it being available even in my hometown of Cambridge. And since I've switched over to it, it can either be something that one produces themselves by installing, say, solar panels onto their own home. But in my case, since I rent, many cities also are creating green electricity. So sourcing it from wind or solar, and then they're able to channel that to power electrical usage for my home.
And it's such a meaningful thing. Thank you for sharing that, Sapna. And that's one of the bestest gift potential you could give anyone. 300 or so trees per year, per family. That's a huge number. And it's a couple of clicks away. So if you want more information, definitely look into the workshop. If you don't have solar panels, or you could have solar panels as well as green electricity, both. It's very, very awesome. So next question to our children team.
Okay, can we do products 300 then?
Okay. How can one help reduce any concerns or hesitations that people may have about getting secondhand clothes? A few seconds left.
Okay, so our answer is, if someone has like some concerns or hesitations about purchasing secondhand clothing, remind them that first of all, it has to be clean. Like they go through, most stores that have secondhand clothing or anything will go through checks to make sure it's clean, and they will sometimes clean it themselves. Second of all, it's still clothing. Like it's just like wearing a shirt you've had for 3 years. Like it's the same thing. It's slightly used. It's not new. And third of all, it's first of all cheaper than regular clothing usually, and it's also more environmentally friendly because it's kind of like reusing just stuff you have, except it's someone else's that they cleaned and gave it to you.
Thank you, our children team. Audience, you have no comments for their answers? How come? I'm just wondering. I'm just listening to them and then they're just feeling excited for our own future. So next team, Deepa.
Next place is 300, please.
What is the average amount that a family of four typically spends on week-long vacations in US dollars?
$4,500.
Sort of. Well, not really.
Is it the more or less?
More, it's more.
Yeah, take another guess.
Like they're staying somewhere, they're doing all the spending. They're not visiting a family or a friend. That's different. It could have been clear.
6,000.
So you're getting closer. Any other team would like to take on the question? Or anyone in the audience guess? Week-long vacation in a destination place, typically. Go ahead, our children.
11,000.
Ooh, much closer, a little less. So the amount typically ends up around $10,000. It's a hard number to calculate. So it's but very typical destination places in US lead up to that much amount. So next team, Ananya.
I'll go with people 300. Is that done yet? People 300.
Now I'm unsure. Oh no, okay. What are some elements we have raised funds for with environmental charities?
So we did like for the earth, we did trees for the future, is one of them. And then we also did for the water and for the air, the Clean Air Act. Yeah. And also
Yes.
the African Wildlife Foundation. That was also like another one for the earth.
So over 2 years, everyone supports Vivekji's inspiration. We have raised the amount 280,957. It's pretty meaningful and significant. And next question, Vivekji's team.
Maybe place 200 if it's available.
What's a simple way to reduce your greenhouse emissions from your kitchen?
I would say to keep appliances that are not in use unplugged to avoid shadow use of electricity.
Would you like to add some more? It's an awesome answer. Makes sense.
Maybe anyone from the audience want to share?
Don't waste food. Totally makes sense. Composting. Meaningful suggestions. Don't get food that you don't need. All those aspects. And we have done a couple of workshops on those topics. Sapna has done one too. And if you haven't started composting, it's pretty straightforward. And all the instructions are in this workshop. So, our children team.
Philosophy 100.
Please share a joke. Think about it, okay? 6 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Ready? You can ask help. Audience, other team. You don't lose any points by asking audience.
Okay, so what is Mickey Mouse's favorite van? It's a minivan.
Okay. Oh, Vivekji also asked a question. Why are frogs always happy? They eat whatever bugs them. So cool. Next team, ready?
People 400.
What careers would be highly needed by the world in this century?
Like any trades, plumber. Sustainable engineering.
You're pretty close. Awesomeness. Yes, lots of related and environment related jobs. The in-demand jobs related, the projections are really, really high. So those who are thinking about careers, you have choice. Those who are planning to change careers, you have choice. Those who are not planning to change careers still have choice to change it. So look into it definitely. Thank you, Deepa. And Ananya?
Yeah, I'll go with products for 100.
How many workshops did Prithvi Sevasanga community facilitated so far?
In 2023 or like since 2022.
Either one is fine.
Oh, well, I think in 2023 it was one workshop a month, so 12 workshops. 2022, I think it was also one workshop a month in 20, so also 12 workshops in 2022.
So this is our 24th one. Thank you, Ananya. And there's a playlist on Chinmaya Mission Niagara's YouTube. Phenomenal, great topics, starting from how to have earth-friendly vacations and how could you improve your transportation. And this year also we have great sets of workshops coming up, and thank you for actually responding in this survey. So we could do all those different types of workshops. Next team.
Zoe, I think we're
Hmm.
actually done, I think.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
We're
no
done with all questions.
I think so. Yeah.
Wait, did anyone get points for philosophy 100 with the
Yeah,
joke?
that was the joke
Yeah,
one.
you all had 1600. You won. Good job. Thank you everybody for playing with us. So we're also you've helped us a lot. Yes, Vivekji, everyone's tied. Everyone's a winner. Absolutely. So you've shared with us our sort of plan for 2024, and we'll take a look at that. So everybody, thank you for that. We do have another quick 2 questions that we're going to share with you as a poll. So that should show up on your screen. Does everyone see the results? Yeah. So it looks like the name that won is Serve Mother. That seems to be the favorite. Okay. Actually, what we can do is for the people that didn't get to share, Gunjan will can relaunch the poll so you all can vote too. We want to get everybody's word in. So it looks like nobody uses X really, maybe TikTok. We've got one user. All right. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. We would also next like to ask anyone who would like to share. So the other questions that we had was about what you'd like to see for 2024. And so what do you envision Prithvi Sevasanga or even yourself doing differently in 2024 when it comes to the to caring for Prithvi? Anyone would like to verbally share, please raise your hand so we can hear from you. This is our opportunity to sort of not only get ideas, just reflect on what we've done, what we'd like to do, what's been difficult that we can possibly change going forward. You can raise your hand so we can unmute you. Ananya talked about the cooking workshops from Sapna and Alina, yeah. Damaniji, Hariom.
Hari Om. Greetings from Bharat. I'd like to actually express my deepest gratitude to Vivekji and the whole Prthvi Sevasanga for starting this awesome movement. I have attended majority of the workshops organized by Prithvi Seva over the last 2 years, and they've been so educational and so relevant to our day-to-day living. So you've done a great job. And I'd like to share that at our center in Generation London, now this September, when we started our classes, we give a handout to all our Bal Vihar children. And we introduced a Prithvi Seva corner in that handout. And all the activities that Prithvi Seva Sangha has been teaching us, we actually put it as a monthly theme with a list of activities. So we've encouraged all our Bal Vihar teachers to review just for 5 minutes in the class the theme of the month with the students, so that they can inculcate it in their day-to-day life. But I think we can do a better job in 2024, because the goal was that one Bal Vihar class a month will come to the assembly and share what actually they did with others, to inspire others as well. And we have not been able to do that for a variety of reasons. There's so many other things happening in the assembly. So in 2024, I feel we need to inspire people more to share what exactly they're doing. As Vivekji shares that, when we learn Bhagavad Gita, it's not just the knowledge we get, we have to make it a lifestyle. It's not a part-time occupation, it's a lifestyle. And the same thing I feel is for Prithvi Seva, it should become our lifestyle and not just telling people do this, do that. So we need to lead by example. And I'm reflecting on myself that, I should do so that people get inspired. I do remember that, we had a drive of, exchanging clothes, so donating clothes and exchanging. And I actually wore a sari, which was a donated sari, and then I said, this is a donated sari and this is what I'm wearing. So that is what, people should kind of learn, that we do what we say. So those were some of my thoughts. And one more thing that, these workshops are so awesome, but I feel sad to see that attendance is not good. So I need to work harder, and each one of us has to work harder. At our center, we have 150, 200 people attending our Bal Vihar classes. And we announce it, but I still do not see more than 2 people attending the workshops on Sunday nights. So I think we need to work harder to improve attendance of people so that they get educated. Because I feel that when you get the knowledge, then you start loving the ideas. And yeah, those were some of my thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kamini-ji. And you've been such an active part of our work times also with the centers and all the efforts that you've done with the centers, your center as well. Thank you. Deepa, Hari Om.
Hari Om. I think we reached out to Nitin Ji from the DC Center, and he is willing to give a speech to the Cleveland families during the assembly time to talk about green energy. And then we were going to have a one-on-one session if needed. So I feel here in our center, we really don't know about green energy. We don't know how to go about getting to it. So I think that's one thing we can do. And the other idea I had was maybe a newsletter of Prithvi Sevasanga, just with various centers, to showcase what initiatives they have done. So it kind of reaches everyone. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Deepa. Yeah, I'm glad Nitin is able to do the one-on-ones with centers and individuals as well. Ushaji, Hari Om.
Hari Om, thanks, Vikaji. Hari Om, everyone. So my mom and I are joining together today. We had a couple of thoughts on what we can each do as individuals to grow the impact of Prithvi Sevasanga. So I appreciate the previous suggestions of continuing to share suggestions and inspiration within the community, but we're thinking about how we can go bigger beyond our community. One of the things is we're traveling right now, and we had thought that we wanted to bring like reusable spoons and everything with us while we were traveling. And in the haste of us leaving, we forgot at the last minute, but we've been thinking that it's such an easy, small way. If you're going to even like a local party that your friend is throwing, if you're going to work, when you're going to school, bringing a reusable glass and a spoon, a fork, a knife, even if you can't carry a plate or a bowl, something small that's reusable, that saves that much more plastic or paper, any sort of waste, imbibing that kind of culture in our everyday lives. And in terms of really thinking big beyond our community, one thing that I think all of us in Prithvi Sevasanga can take on is to try to influence one person that you engage with regularly outside of the Prithvi Sevasanga community, outside of your family, to really take up one practice that you practice on a regular basis. So if you're working on reducing your food waste, then if you go to that office holiday party and your coworker is about to throw out the 5 cookies that no one's eating, being like, hold up, let's see if we can distribute these 5 cookies before they go into the trash. And it can be as small as someone like that and as big as calling a legislator to say like, hi, my community needs this much money to start a local composting program. I compost and I'd love for my neighbors to do that with me. So anywhere from as small as an office member, a coworker, a school mate, a classmate that you engage with regularly, to as big as the people who are tasked with influencing our laws, our government, and our society, making sure that the practices we care so much about reach a larger audience.
Thank you, Hamza. Thank you, Shaji. All wonderful ideas. And so that's actually a great segue for us to share with you. A way for us to continue this discussion is for you, if you're not already on our WhatsApp group for Prithvi Sevasanga, that link will be, it's already in the chat. So thank you everyone for that. Just a couple announcements and then I'll hand it over to Vekshi. We are actually moving our workshops now to the first Sunday of every month. So our next workshop will actually be in 2 weeks on January 7th. And that's when we will also be sharing the results of our Planet for the Pioneer Challenge. So please do come support and listen in on. We've heard a lot of their ideas and what's going to be happening next for them on January 7th. And we do have one of our teams here, Earth Children. So thank you for joining us, everyone. And we'll hand it over to Vivekji. Very old Vivekji.
Hariom again. I had commenced our final workshop for this year, sharing how difficult it is to be an environmentalist. But I simultaneously shared how our Prithvi Sevasanga helps us to develop tools to be careful as we go about living, like traveling with our own utensils as an example, like shifting where our electricity comes from. So Prithvi Sevasanga is not just about Prithvi, it is about our mukti, or our evolution. To be joy. While I was participating in a passive way, I was interacting with a few people, and I want to acknowledge that Varun from Portland is joining us, that Varun has not been physically well, but still is an active member of the grander community, the Portland community, our Prithvi Sevasanga community. Happy to see you, Varun, and good luck with your team. And my teammate who gets the participation badge for today, she was sharing that however many points your team got, that's how much you have to donate to Prithvi Sevasanga before the end of the year. See how intelligent she is? That's why she scored low. She had planned this in advance. Then I was listening to some of your ideas, and the idea of us having a Prithvi Sevasanga retreat is a solid idea. And I'm even going to propose a month and dates. So I'm supposed to be in Orange, Connecticut, November 1st to the 3rd, I believe. And so I think that's an ideal time and place for us to have this Prithvi Sevasanga retreat. And that was part of the request that it be on the coast or closer to the Midwest. So when I have my next meeting with our team, we'll try to finalize that. Okay, our first ever Prthvi Sevasanga retreat. And now, finally, when we regather next year and we're going to re-strategize with a name and a certain Sunday and so on, right when we start our courses, which is January 14th, we have a special Efforts for Equality initiative. That's what we're calling this. And part of this will be all of us collecting 10,008 pounds of food. We are going to collect 10,008 pounds of food and donate that to our local food banks. So where you live, whether it's Albany or Austin, you will donate there. And my point in all of this is, it is important that we exercise all techniques when it comes to environmentalism and not wasting food. Directing food to those who need it is a great way for us to practice. For us, number one, and for others to benefit by this. So when you start seeing announcements about efforts for equality, make sure you're part of this and that you're spreading the word to your family, your friends. This is for our environment. It's not specific to the people who are in this workshop. Okay. I want you to put your right hand out. And usually you would think you were doing avahana right now. We're not doing avahana right now. I want you to pat the person on the back who's next to you in terms of the screen next to you, okay? You're patting them in the back for this year. Now give them a hug. Give them a hug. Now whisper in their ear, work harder and smarter in 2024. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I offer my prayers to Bhudevi to continue to grace us to live in a careful way for our outer evolution and inner evolution. Have a joyous completion to 2023 and a more joyous commencement of 2024. Be joy.